Hi, everybody. It's Brian. All right. Now, I know probably the first thing you're thinking is, oh my God, he looks like hell. Well, you're right. Um, I thought about this for a few days before I decided it was the right thing to do. I wanted to post a video um, to everybody to basically talk about the reality of depression and anxiety, especially now uh, during this pandemic, this coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemic, where they're asking people to be isolated or quarantined um, for an indefinite period of time. I felt that it was important for people to not only talk about it, but to show the reality of it. I have suffered from depression and anxiety for a long time. Um, I do have it treated and with medication, and it's monitored. Fortunately for me, that's a good thing. Medication does help the situation, although it's not a cure all. You can still have bouts of uh, depressed episodes, anxiety, panic attacks, and they can hit you either very quietly sneaking up on you or like a tidal wave overwhelming you. Um, it leads to all kinds of issues, overthinking, fear, um, lack of sleep, which I have definitely experienced the past several days because of everything going on. Um, and it's not fun, but it is a reality. And the most important thing I wanted to say about it is this: it's okay not to be okay. This happens to the best of us, okay? Years ago, depression and anxiety carried with it a stigma, a fear from people of, God, you can't talk about that. That'll ruin your reputation. Um, you don't want anybody to think there's anything wrong with you. And that's just simply not the way it is. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Great people in history have had depression and anxiety. Um, it's just a reality of life. And we now know that it's simply a chemical imbalance in part that can be treated with medication along with other things. So again, the medication is not a cure-all, and I don't want people to think, oh, I can just go get a pill and be feeling perfectly fine. No, it helps. It definitely helps take the edge off, but it's still about you doing the work. And that's why it's so important for me to show you the reality of it tonight. Um, so as you can see here, this is several days of a lack of sleep happening. And yes, I definitely plan to go get a nice shower and a shave after this, but I felt it was important to get this video done and try to help people. Now, for those people who know me, I'm an empath. What that basically means is that I am very intuitive at reading people and reading their personal energies. This is what I do. I help people by reading them, by reading their energies, to figure out what blocks they're dealing with, emotional or mental blocks, to help them in situations. Sometimes people are trapped in the box and they can only see one perspective. My job comes in to ask questions and be able to see the 360 around them and offer them different perspectives to help. That's just a little of what I do. But as an empath, sorry about that. Already got people popping in. As an empath, I'm prone to being overwhelmed by what's going on around me as well. It can catch me off guard. It can sneak up on me. It can hit me like a tidal wave. And oftentimes it can feel physiological. A perfect example of this is I was at the store on Monday trying to get a few things, just get my normal medication refills and a couple groceries. Well, by the time I got to the back of the store, I had broken out in a complete sweat. I was completely achy. I felt nauseous. I didn't know what was wrong. And of course, with everything going on, my first thought was maybe this is something related to coronavirus. Of course, I knew better. It doesn't happen that quick. You can't talk to somebody, have them talk back to you, and just end up with coronavirus symptoms right off the bat. So I knew that was ridiculous. But nonetheless, it was physically debilitating to me. I had to find a place and sit down. And I sat there for about 15 minutes. The first thing I did was I had to calm myself down and ask myself what was wrong with me physically. And I slowed my breathing. I calmed myself down, and I realized that I wasn't having a physiological problem to anything. What I realized was that all the people in the store had these haunted looks on their face. There were people there that I swear to you, had I gotten within 5 feet of them, they would have left their shopping cart and just bolted for the door. They were so afraid of coming in contact with anybody, and it was pervasive. The second I walked into the store, I felt it, and I did so with my defenses down. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't prepared for just how bad it was going to feel. Now, as a result, it washed over me like a tidal wave, and it completely sucked my empathic energies dry before I even knew it. By sitting down and taking that time to recenter myself, slow my breathing, refocus my energies, I was able to put myself in a much less catabolic state, a much more anabolic level of energy, and help myself get through it. In fact, I was able to have some really great conversations with some of the workers, albeit brief. I didn't want to take up too much of their time, but I wanted to thank them for being there, because they could have called out sick. They could have done a number of things. They could have chosen to close the stores. And they didn't do that. They were there trying to help other people. And for the most part, they all had a great attitude about it. And it was really nice to see, and they deserved our thanks. So I was glad I was able to talk to them and express uh, thanks for everything that they're doing. And anyone out there who is in the service industry right now, customer service, and you're out there helping and you're out there working and dealing with people right now, thank you for doing what you're doing. It means a lot, whether you hear it or not. And I have been in customer service for a lot of years, too many to count at this point. But I can tell you, little things like thank you from the customers matter. So thank you from all of us. Even if we're too inside our heads to say it in the moment, I want you to know that that's the case. Okay. Now, once I did this, once I brought myself back up to an anabolic level, I felt good. I had an energy surge. I was able to finish grocery shopping, get home, and get everything unpacked and settle into what's become the new routine. But the truth is, I live alone. I have my dog, Chance, who is one of the best dogs in the world, and myself, and that's it. So, being the kind of person I am, doing the work that I do to help others, I'm very socially interactive. I need to have that uh, social interaction with people to keep myself going. It fills me up with energy. It keeps me going. And not to have that can be a bit of a spiraling, downward spiral. And I have felt it the last several days. I have seen that on top of all the social media that we've had. I've seen, people talking about how many have died, what's going to happen next, the government not knowing what they're going to do. I've heard the government coming back and forth on how things are going to be handled. We're talking about economic stimuluses. People are talking about, well, what about independent contractors? Are they going to realize that, they're out there too, or people who are already unemployed or just lost their job because the employers let them go? Or have put off the job opportunities for several months till this is all worked out. There's a lot of scary stuff out there, and that can't do anything but have an impact on you. Yes, we can use our conscious mind to say, okay, I'm going to take it all with a grain of salt, but it still affects us, and it can still knock us down pretty hard. Okay, so what I'm saying here is, even though we live alone, or we're quarantined in some degree, or self-isolated, practicing social distancing, you're not alone. You're not alone. Okay. Some are lucky to have families. Other people are lucky not to have families, but with them. But the bottom line is this: you're not alone. Okay. I'm putting this out there not to gain coaching clients. It has nothing to do with that. This is purely to help people, um, because we need it now more than ever. If you are finding yourself depressed, anxious, scared, you know, if you've been struggling with stuff and this is just the icing on the cake and you don't know where to turn, call me. Okay. My phone number is 908 256 4349. That is my cell phone. That is my work number. Okay. I wouldn't put it out there unless I mean this. Text me. Okay. Let me know what's going on. Let's talk. If nothing else, I'm here to listen, and I'm a great listener, and I want to help you. Okay. You can email me, Brian, Brian, at bcacoaching.com. That's my email. I check it every day. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me. I'd prefer if you text me first and let me get back to you, because I have a feeling that I may get a little overwhelmed here. In fact, what I will do is I will get a calendar up on my Facebook page. And you can find me, Brian C. Alston, the Self-Worth Coach, on Facebook. And I'll put a link up there. And I'm working to get it in a couple places so people can see it. I'll try to put it out on Instagram too. And if you want to talk to me, let's have you go into that and schedule a time to talk to me, because I really think I can help. And this is not money. You're calling to talk to me. That's it. And, to see how I can help you and what I can do for you. Even if it's just a 15-minute conversation to pick you up because you are stuck at home alone and you're going stir crazy and you just need to hear a voice. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So again, the phone number is 908 256 4349. Now, I do ask you, remember, I'm on the East Coast in New Jersey. So if you're going to text me, try to do it before 11 o'clock at night. Yes, I'm usually up till midnight or later, but try to do it before 11, and then anytime after 8 a.m. I usually try to put the phone down and get away from all the social media, at least at that point. Doesn't always work. You'll find me on TikTok, all kinds of stuff, but I do my best to do that. So please reach out to me. And if it's not me, reach out to a friend, a family member, somebody that you can talk to and say, hey, I just needed to touch base with you. I just needed to talk for a minute. I needed a friend. Okay. We're in this together, everybody. This is not something that we're each experiencing on our own. Okay. As long as we remember it. Sure, it's easy to forget that when you're surrounded by four walls and no one to talk to. But there's so many other ways that we can do this. I'll jump on Skype with you guys and talk face to face if you want. I have no problem doing that. I would love to do that. In fact, that's what I do with the coaching business too. So you get some personal interaction going on. But the bottom line is we have to help each other. Okay? The only way we're going to get through this as a society, as a world, is to help each other. I truly believe that that is what we're meant to do in life, is to help each other. And if it's not me, I hope you turn to a friend, a family member, a colleague, a mentor, whoever you have to talk to. Reach out to them, a professional if you need to, but they're there. I love the quote from Mr. Rogers, who always said, when I was young, my mother taught me in times of great stress and crisis to look around for the helpers. They're the ones there. Okay? See what they're doing to help others. Look around for them. While they're here, I'm a helper. Your friends are helpers. Your family are helpers. You're a helper. Okay. And if you're doing okay, take a moment during all this free time that we have right now to reach out to somebody you think might not be doing well, or somebody you haven't talked with in ages. I can't tell you how much that's going to bring a smile to their face. Okay. Now, there's only so much that I can do as one person, but I'm here to give 110% to whoever needs it right now. Okay. And I hope you guys will consider doing the same thing for your friends, your family, whoever. Okay. And remember, when you do go out, social distancing doesn't mean forget about the niceties in this world. Say a kind word. Thank somebody for doing a great job. Okay. Just a little kindness in this world is going to go a long way, especially right now. Don't forget that. The best thing we can do is to remember our humanity. There's a wonderful speech in the movie Apollo 13, where the flight commander has just been said this is going to be the biggest tragedy NASA's ever experienced. And his response was, with all due respect, sir, I believe this is going to be our finest hour. Tragedy, bad situations, negativity are all mindsets. They're only going to be that way if you allow them to be. There's always a different way at looking at something, a different perspective. And if you can't see it yourself, that's okay. Ask somebody else to try and help you see it. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. So just to wrap up, help each other. Help each and every one you can right now. Because more than politics, more than governments, more than food hoarding, more than anything else going on right now, we need that love between our fellow men and women. And we need to reach out to others and remind them that they still matter, that we're still here, and we're going to get through this. Okay? So one last time, if you want to reach out to me, please, by all means, do it. Text me, 908-256-4349. That's my cell. Between 8 a.m. and 11 p.m., text me. We'll set some time up to talk. If you want to email, Brian, Brian, at bcacoaching.com. That's my email. You reach out to there. I'll be checking that on a regular basis. And as I said, I'm going to set up a scheduler that somebody showed me so that if you want to talk, we can book times for people to talk so that I don't get overwhelmed either, because I got to make sure that I don't bite off more than I can chew. That would be the last thing I want to do, is leave people out there hurting because I tried to do too much and I knocked myself down. One of the biggest things we can do right now is make sure we're taking care of ourselves in order to help others, which is why after this, I'm going to take care of all this lovely stress and anxiety induced fashion statement here and get a nice shower and a hot shower and a nice shave, and feel 100% better. Love each other. Be there for each other. If you need it, reach out to me. I'm here. Okay? Love and God bless.